How to stop computer abuse. More and more, the operations of our businesses, governments, and financial institutions are controlled by information that exists only inside computer memories. Anyone clever enough to modify this information for his own purposes can reap substantial rewards. Even worse, a number of people who have done this and been caught at it have managed to get away without punishment. A recent Stanford Research Institute study of computer abuse was based on 160 case histories, which probably are just the tip of the iceberg. After all, we only know about the unsuccessful computer crimes. How many successful ones have gone undetected is anybody's guess. For the last decade or so, computer programmers have concentrated on making it easy for people to use computer systems. Unfortunately, in some situations, the systems are all too easy to use. They don't impose nearly enough restrictions to safeguard confidential information or to prevent unauthorized persons from changing the information in a file. A computer system needs a sure way of identifying the people who are authorized to use it. The identification procedure has to be quick and convenient. Besides, it should be so thorough that there is little chance of the computer being fooled by a clever imposter who dishonestly pretends to be an authorized user. At the same time, the computer must not reject legitimate users. Unfortunately, no identification system currently in use meets all these requirements. At present, signatures are widely used to identify credit card holders, but it takes an expert to detect a good forgery. Sometimes even a human expert is deceived, and there is no reason to believe that a computer could do any better. A variation is to have the computer analyze a person's hand movements as he signs his name instead of analyzing the signature itself. Advocates of this method claim that different persons' hand movements are sufficiently distinct to identify them. And while a forger might learn to duplicate another person's signature, he probably would not move his hand exactly the way the person whose signature he was forging did. Photographs are also sometimes used for identification. But people find it inconvenient to stop by a bank or credit card company and be photographed. Companies might lose business if they made the pictures an absolute requirement. Also, photographs are less useful these days, when people frequently change their appearance by changing the way they wear their hair. Finally, computer programs for analyzing photographs are still highly experimental. Cash dispensing systems often use two identification numbers. One is recorded on a magnetic strip on the identification card, and the other is given to the cardholder. When the user inserts his card into the cash dispensing terminal or the automatic money machine, he keys in the identification number he has been given. The computer checks to see that the number recorded on the card and the one keyed in by the user both refer to the same person. Someone who stole the card would not know what number had to be keyed in order to use it. This method currently is the one most widely used for identifying computer users. For a long time, fingerprints have provided a method of positive identification, but they suffer from two problems, one technical and one psychological. The technical problem is that there is no simple system for comparing fingerprints electronically. Also, most methods of taking fingerprints are messy. The psychological problem is that fingerprints are strongly associated in the public mind with police procedures. Because most people associate being fingerprinted with being arrested, they almost surely would resist being fingerprinted for routine identification. Voice prints may be more promising. With these, the user has only to speak a few words into a microphone for the computer to analyze his voice. There are no psychological problems here, and technically, it is easier to take and analyze voice prints than fingerprints. Also, for remote computer users, the identifying words could be transmitted over the telephone. However, voice prints still require more research. It has yet to be proved that the computer cannot be fooled by mimics. Also, technical difficulties arise when the voice is subjected to the noise and distortion of a telephone line.